Thank you very much for today. This gym leader is really tough. With this badge, only 2 more are left for me to enter the long-dreamed-of Pokemon conference. Hey you! I noticed you've been paying attention to what I've been saying so far. What do you think about building a flying gym in your Pokemon world? That would be awesome, right? In this video, if you watch until the end, there's a really cool and easy tutorial on how to build it in your Pokemon world. I am Minebuild, and it's a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to another Minebuild tutorial. In this tutorial, I will teach you how to build a flying type gym using the Pixelmon mod, but nothing stops you from building it for the Coblemon mod as well. If you like the design of the flying gym or find the tutorial very clear, please don't forget to leave a like on the video, it really helps me grow on the platform. Consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you'll know when I release new videos. Share this video with your friends who enjoy this type of content and comment below what you thought of the flying gym and what the other types of gyms that haven't been built yet could be like. I have a playlist with other Pokemon gyms that are already built, make sure to check it out later. Thank you for your attention so far, and let's start the tutorial. For this gym, we will create the fog effect. This is the beginning of the layout. Notice that, compared to layer 0, 2 blocks of height were dug out. Add a first layer using the white concrete block. Above the white concrete layer, add another layer of black stained glass blocks. Now, above the diamond block, add a cyan concrete block, and above the black stained glass layer, add another layer, this time using gray stained glass. Above the gray stained glass and cyan concrete layers, a new layer of light gray stained glass was added, and the ochre froglight block was also used. Now, above the ochre froglight block, the waxed copper grate block was added, and above the light gray stained glass layer, a new layer of white stained glass was added. This concludes this part of the fog effect. Here it was cut in half so you can get an idea of how the layer composition turned out. I hope it's clear. Let's start the tutorial by building the Pokeball using red concrete, white concrete, and black concrete blocks. On the outline of the arena, we will use glass pane and temple pillar. To make the torch, we will use deep slate tile stairs, deep slate tiles, lodestone, cyan concrete, and netherrack. In this part, only cyan concrete and white stained glass will be used. If there are any doubts about how everything was done in this part, I'll move the camera closer and give you an overall view of how the gym looks so far. Here we will use the blocks waxed cut copper stairs, chiseled tough bricks, and anvil. And this concludes the first part of the tutorial. To build the outer wall, we will use the blocks cyan concrete, ochre froglight, waxed copper trapdoor, iron bars, and deep slate tiles. On the diagonals, we will use the blocks cyan concrete, deep slate tile wall, and chain. The front part of the gym will be a little different. Here we will use the blocks cyan concrete, iron bars, chiseled tough bricks, glass, and waxed copper trapdoor, deep slate tile stairs, deep slate tiles. And this concludes the second part of the tutorial. We will build the staircase that will take us to a suspended grandstand. We will use the blocks waxed cut copper stairs, chiseled tough bricks, and anvil. Continuing, we will now use the blocks chiseled tough bricks, anvil, deep slate tile wall, waxed copper grate, cyan chair, glass, chain, and waxed cut copper stairs. To build the gym's big screen, we will use the blocks light blue concrete, red concrete, white concrete, black concrete, and spruce trapdoor. Everything we've done so far represents half of the gym. You should replicate it on the other side. Remember that we also built the middle section since the gym uses an odd number of blocks. Heading toward the end of the tutorial, we will build the giant pokeball using the blocks red concrete, white concrete, black concrete, glass, and ochre froglight. This step requires your full attention. Here we will use only the deep slate tiles block. However, note that I will perform the action once, and it must be replicated 3 more times for the other parts of the gym. This section will be the top of the gym, which has a birdcage-like shape. We're nearing the end of the tutorial. Let's add a few more details to make it look really nice. At the end of the tutorial, you will find a teaser of how the flying gym can look in your world, and at the end of the video you will also find a playlist with other Pokemon gyms that I've made.